Good evening and thanks for watching KRDO News Channel 13 at 5 o'clock. I'm Angelica Lombardi. A fire that broke out on South Carefree this morning is now under control. The Colorado Springs Fire Department responded to a call for an explosion around 11:45 a.m. The fire spread to about 2 acres. No details have been released on the cause of the explosion or what may have started the fire. We will, of course, keep you updated as we learn more. A man is recovering in the hospital after his car fell off of a cliff early this morning. Take a look. It happened on Old Stage Road around 1 a.m. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office tells us the man is suffering from life-threatening injuries after falling 40 feet. Colorado State Patrol does not think alcohol was involved. As of now, we do not know the identity of that driver. A serious traffic accident shut down eastbound Palmer Park this morning. It happened off Palmer Park and Academy. At around 10 a.m., crews with the Colorado Springs Fire Department had to extract people from vehicles. One woman was taken to a local hospital for evaluation. Taking a live look outside now at I-25 in Pine Creek, you can see a beautiful evening. It's been a nice day out, but what do we have in store for our work week? We'll send things over now to Storm Tracker 13 meteorologist Nick Carter.
Well, the weather for the work week is going to be a distraction, Angelica. That's because we're expecting more of the same. Beautiful above average temperatures, a mix of clouds and sunshine, just like this picture from our Viera wireless camera down in La Vida. A little windy. We saw the camera shaking around just a little while ago, but those westerly winds warmed us up considerably. These were the high temperatures that we saw across the Front Range and Eastern Plains. 65 degrees was the highest temperature in Pueblo, got up to 59 officially here in Colorado Springs. It was a balmy 61 degrees in Denver, 65 in La Junta and Lamar, and 61 degrees in Springfield. Even Leadville was above freezing today with 36. Now it's down to 30. 2 above zero in Gunnison, 54 in Canyon City, 48 here in the Springs, 57 degrees in Pueblo. So it's still pretty mild with our winds kind of searching out of the north-northeast. They were out of the west earlier today, but still most of those wind speeds under 10 miles per hour. And since our temperatures are in the 50s, we're not going to talk about wind chill. We'll just talk about temperatures dropping to the upper 40s to mid 50s here for the next few hours. At 7 p.m., 46 in Colorado Springs, 43 in Pueblo. And if for any reason you have to be out and about tonight, temperatures just above freezing, 36 here in the Springs, 34 in Pueblo. That'll be the temperature at about 10 o'clock tonight. What we're expecting for the next few days, well, more beautiful weather for walking the dog. Jeff Swan took a picture this day with his dog in the park. It was gorgeous. Went to the dogs, you might say. Passing clouds, mild days, a bit breezy. We'll cover it all with our Storm Tracker 13 forecast in just a few.
All right, thanks so much. Investigators from the FAA are trying to figure out what caused a mysterious crash at the Fremont County Airport. Take a look at this. The plane flipped onto its wings while landing yesterday afternoon. Luckily, the pilot walked away without any injuries. Wind gusts were recorded in the area, but there is no word yet on whether that may have played a factor. We have new information in this evening's Crime Tracker. Thornton police are searching for a suspect connected to an attempted kidnapping Friday afternoon. Take a close look. Our partners in Denver report that a mother was putting her 2 kids in the car when the man in this sketch walked up to her and opened the door, reaching for one of the children. The mom confronted the man and scared him off. He's described as 5 foot 10 inches tall, black male. If you see this person, you're asked to call Thornton police. Protests today in opposition to President Trump's executive action on refugees and immigration. It temporarily stops travelers from 7 countries linked to terror. The demonstrators are rallying for travelers detained at airports all across the country and around the world. ABC's David Wright reports.
Shame, shame, shame. President Trump's second week in office is kicking off the same way his first did, with widespread protests. Coast to coast, demonstrators are rallying against the president's executive order temporarily banning travelers from 7 predominantly Muslim countries designated as having ties to terror. Overnight, federal judges temporarily stayed the order, making way for refugees who'd been detained at U.S. airports, allowing them to reunite with their families.
Donald Trump seems to want us to believe that immigrants are either terrorists or criminals. Look at these faces. Are they any kind of threat to America? No, they're the promise of America.
Now some refugees are telling their stories. Mohammed Hamid says he was targeted by terrorists after working with U.S. troops in Iraq.
We were on the brink to be killed.
Emotions are also running high for Azem Elias. An American citizen, he fought for years to get his daughter and grandchildren out of Syria.
I am a good citizen. I have my own business. I have my own house. But I don't have my children with me. And I have another daughter in Lebanon stuck.
Many people with valid visas are stuck in legal limbo.
It's working out very nicely. You see it at the airport. You see it all over. It's working out very nicely.
The president and his team are on defense this weekend.
That's what the president did, is to ensure that the people that we're letting into our country are coming here with peaceful purposes and not to do us harm.
But a growing number of Republican lawmakers now say the policy is flawed.
Bad news is that obviously this process and these conclusions were not vetted.
Refugees are welcome here.
David Wright, ABC News, Washington.
President Trump spent today taking calls from more world leaders, including the Prince of Saudi Arabia. And take a live look now at protesters at the Portland, Oregon airport. You can see this is one of several across the U.S. where people are gathering in opposition of President Trump's decision to ban those refugees. And here is the look at the scene at DIA last night. You can see protesters also gathered there to voice their opinion about President Donald Trump's travel ban. A federal judge granted an emergency stay late Saturday night for citizens of 7 Muslim-majority countries who have already arrived in the U.S. and those who are in transit and who will hold valid visas, ruling they can legally enter the U.S. Now, that was the scene before that ruling. Police called the protest at the airport peaceful. And Hillary Clinton tweeted support for the growing protests over President Donald Trump's travel ban. The former Democratic presidential nominee said on Twitter, quote, "I stand with the people gathered across the country tonight defending our values and our Constitution. This is not who we are." President Trump's order suspends all refugee admission for 120 days, and as we've been mentioning, it bans travel from 7 Muslim-majority countries for 90 days. Last night, that federal judge granted that emergency stay. Again, this means people from the affected countries who had already arrived in the U.S. or were in transit with valid visas will not be deported immediately. Homestay service Airbnb is offering free housing to people banned from flights to the U.S. The CEO, Brian Chesky, wrote on Twitter last night, opening his offer to anyone denied U.S. entry under President Trump's executive order. Chesky tweeted, quote, "Not allowing countries or refugees into America is not right, and we must stand with those who are affected." No timeline yet as to when or how these accommodations will be provided, but Chesky urged travelers who need emergency housing to contact him. According to the company's website, Airbnb operates in more than 191 countries.